Hello everybody, this is Glass Half Dead, and today I'm going to be going over a few start collecting boxes and how I think they are in regards to playing in both 40k and Kill Team. Now, as you might know, I don't really know enough to kind of say with any authority whether or not something's good in 40k. And so, because of that, what I've done is I've gone over to Allspecs Tactics, a channel I'm sure almost all of you know, who does some great beginner videos for 40k. And I've taken what he thinks of the start collecting boxes, and I'm just kind of saying, yes, these are what he says. So yes, you should buy them, no you shouldn't, they're good value, they're not good value, whatever. Whatever he said is basically what I'm echoing. And I'm going to be saying things like, yes, this box is good for you if you want to play Kill Team, and then go into 40k. But I'm also going to say if any of these boxes are good for just Kill Team. Also, a lot of these boxes are going to come with things like a tank on the Astra Militarum here. Now, I would actually say a tank is a good thing to have for Kill Team, especially a big blocky tank like this, because you can build it up and just plop it right in the middle of your board, and that's a great piece of terrain. But this also means that if you're just looking for a tank as a piece of terrain, then maybe this isn't the video for you, because I'm going to be saying that's a good thing, and if you're never going on to 40k, and that's not even an option in your mind, then most of these start collectings aren't going to be for you if they have any vehicles. So I am going to be rating the vehicles on a basis of, is it good for Kill Team as terrain, or should you just move straight on to 40k because you are going to use that vehicle in there, but not Kill Team. And if you've made it 20 seconds into the video already, then a big double hello to you. And I know what you're thinking, what does a double hello mean? Well, I don't really know. But anyway, let's talk about monopose. So in some of these boxes, especially the Vanguard Space Marines and the Chaos Space Marines, which we're about to look over, they can only be built one way. You have no build options, whereas if you were to buy their individual kits separately, which would obviously cost you more money, you'd miss out the savings of a start collecting box, you'd be able to build them in different ways. I am also going to briefly go over the new combat patrol boxes at the end of this video. All timestamps below, feel free to jump to the specific faction you're actually interested in. And anyway, let's take it away with Vanguard Space Marines. For 40k, this is an average kit. You might use it, you might not. The way Marines work, you're now not using these because 9th edition's come out, the new Space Marine Codex has come out, you're going to be using the new stuff. Generally, you're going to be using Eradicators, not the Vanguard Marines as much. However, for Kill Team, I actually really like this box. I think it's a great stepping stone. You're going to use all of these models potentially. The Eliminators are brilliant. If you look at my Primaris only faction guide, I love the Eliminators. They're top notch, and they come with their sniper rifle, which is the loadout I would give them. So them being monopose doesn't bother me. The Suppressors, they have a place in a list or on a roster, only one, but a valid unit. And then you get all of the infiltrators who are fine, but more importantly, they can be proxied as basically any other Primaris without any issues. No one's going to really call you out on that. You can happily say that they're regular intercessors if you want, or you can run them as infiltrators. Nobody's going to have an issue with that. There you go. So I actually think this is a really good kit to buy for Kill Team. For 40k, you need everything that's in this box, so it makes sense to pick it up. However, it's a very low points box, so you're going to need like 10 of them, whereas with some other factions, like for the Vanguard, you would only ever buy one of those. Also, they're all rather old sculpts, if that's an issue for you, whatever. Anyway, for Kill Team, this is a bit of a tough one. So you do get a commander in the Commissar. The heavy weapons team is a no-go, and the Lehman Russ is a no-go for Kill Team. So that only leaves you with 10 regular troops, and you will have a flamer, I think multiple flamers, a Voxcast, multiple grenade launchers, but that's it. That's a really suboptimal Kill Team, and you've only got 10 of them. So this doesn't actually give you a full Kill Team, so from that perspective, I struggle to say you should pick up the Astra Militarum and start collecting if you just want to do Kill Team. However, I think that if you were pushing yourself forwards to 40k, this box can make sense, and you might pick up 2 of them, and then you do have a valid Kill Team, or you might want to pick up this and the next box we're about to look at, and then you have a really good Kill Team. So, on its own, don't buy this box, which leads us to the Militarum Tempestus. Now, everything here in 40k is good. The Taurox Prime is a good vehicle. Scions are good. You will probably use them. The Commissar, a waste because you get so many of them, but you do need it, and especially for kill team. So for kill team, this now gives you a potential of 2 commanders. You've got the Commissar, or you've got the option of building one of the Scions as a, I'm not sure what they're called, a Scion Lord, I don't know. I should have checked what that's actually called. Now this does give you a full kill team. You can run all 10 of your Scions. That gives you enough. You can run, this is actually 2 boxes of Scions, so you're going to end up with plenty of special weapons, plenty of melters, plenty of flamers, plenty of grenade launchers. Not that anyone should ever use grenade launchers, but they are technically there. This is a good purchase. If I wanted to get into Guard and I wanted to run some Scions because I like them, I would buy this kit. Now obviously an all Scion Guard list in kill team isn't really the most effective, but it's not as ineffective as people think. So I would recommend this, but it's up to you. If you want to run a slightly more traditional Guard list in kill team, you'd want to pick up this and the Astra Militarum. This would give you a really solid team. Okay. You also probably want Gottfried the Montbard and Pious Fawn. So figure out how to get those. Now to me as a kill team player, I think this box looks really exciting because I like the new tank, and I like the engine sear, and I like the regular troops. Apparently for 40k this is just a super mediocre acceptable box. For kill team, obviously there's a tank that you can't use. Now I don't have a problem with that as a kill team player, because to me that tank is either a build up to big 40k, great, or it's scenery, and that's a good little tank to use for scenery. 2 thumbs up, I approve. And you wouldn't have to modify it. It could still be the general unit that it is in 40k, and it can be scenery. You can just put it in the middle of the board, it's scenery. Now you're getting a commander here, and this is traditionally for Admech the best commander, because he's nice and cheap, and you could just throw him straight into a list. He's good. And then you're getting 10 Rangers, which, let's be honest, you're going to run as 8 Vanguard and 2 Rangers, because that's how they should be run, really. You're only getting... Now, this is a problem with Admech in general. You're only getting 1 Plasma Caliber and 1 Arc... Arc? Is it just an Arc Rifle? Arc Rifle. So you're not getting enough weapons to really make Admech kind of be their best. But as a beginning way to get into Admech, I think this is a really good box, actually. And if this had been released when I was getting into Admech, I would have purchased this, and it probably would have launched me off into big 40k. And because you need so many of every unit in there, I think actually picking up 2 of these for kill team isn't a bad shout. Of course, then you want to buy other things. You want to buy your Skitarii and your priests, but 2 of these isn't crazy. That's all I'm saying. Okay, for the Chaos Space Marines, this is actually, I've just purchased this for myself. This is a great box. So for kill team, this is giving you 2 commander options and a bunch of cool stuff for 40k, obviously. But it's also giving you lots of, also all of these models are monopose. That's an issue for some, and it means you don't want to buy 2 of these boxes. That's kind of locked in, don't buy 2. But definitely buy 1. So this box of troops gives you options that you don't get in the regular Chaos Space Marine troop box. For example, in this one you get access to the heavy chain gun or Reaper gun, whichever the new one is that people actually want to run, not the old one that nobody wants to run. They put that in this box, but that's not in the regular troop box, which is crazy. If you want that, you have to go and buy a Havoc box. And then because Havocs are on 40mm bases, you have to take the chain gun from there and put it onto a 32mm base regular Space Marine. This is also the best value of any box, and it is the only way to get some of these models in here, the Greater Possessed and the Obliterators, and even the Venom Crawler, actually. Now, on a quick side note, the Venom Crawler obviously cannot be used in Kill Team, and it's also not particularly good for terrain because you could just see through the entirety of it. But with the value that the rest of the box holds, I don't think that's really a big deal. Also, when you put it all together in 40k, this is 730 points. for like a really cheap amount of money. So this is actually an amazing box to buy. If you want Chaos Marines, buy this box. As I said, some of these models are basically running Berserker loadouts. So some of these can double as Berserkers, just paint them red instead of black. Boom, done. Great, good job. Next up we have Thousand Suns. Now I think that everybody already knows my feelings on the Thousand Suns start collecting. You should buy this. This is a great box for Kill Team. It gives you everything you need, minus the Terminator. But I always say that Ahriman actually comes on the correct size base as a Terminator. Just use him. He's a perfect Scarab Occult Sorcerer proxy. Use him. He's an awesome looking model. No one's going to complain. The Zangor upgrade sprue is a bit of a waste, but whatever, it's so good. And in 40k, again, you will use all of these models, Ahriman especially. So that's an easy one, that's a buy. Actually, you know what, I'm going to do all of the Demons start collecting boxes as one. So you've got Tzeentch, Slaanesh, Nurgle, Khorne. If you are starting a 40k army, where you want to use that particular god, so Khorne, Nurgle, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, whatever, buy that, start collecting. In Kill Team, these are the least effective possible way of starting a Kill Team, unfortunately. So I can't recommend any of these for Kill Team, although I will double down here. Demons of Tzeentch, really bad. Extra bad, because it doesn't give you any of the blue and the brimstone horrors that you need to split your pinks into, so doubly don't buy. Which is a real shame. Sorry, Demon players. Which brings us to the Craftworld Eldar. So if you're playing 40k, this is actually a very high points cost box. So it's not inherently bad, and you might use some of the stuff in here. If you're running a Wraith army, this is obviously a great purchase. For Kill Team, well, it gives you a commander. It gives you 2 vehicles that you can't use as terrain, so that's a negative. Because, you know, you could just see straight through their legs. That's not good. And then it gives you 5 Wraith Guard. Or Wraith Blades. I believe you can build them both ways. Part of me wants to say, like, yes, buy it, because it's super fluffy, and it is a good way to get into 40k if you want to play the Wraith army. So, if you want to play 40k as a Wraith army, buy this box. And you can run in a 200-point commander game your Farseer, who could also be run as a Warlock. And then, like, 4 Wraith Guard, and just say, screw it, it's fun, right? But in reality, this isn't how the Craftworld should be played. In Kill Team, you're not going to have good games. So as much fun as I might have to say, yes, this would be a fun list to run, like, once, you're not going to have good, consistent games with it. So I can't say, yes, you should buy this. Unfortunately, bad box. Do not buy unless you're going to 40k Wraith God. Drukhari. In 40k, if you want to go to the Witch Cult, this is a great purchase. You're going to need Witches. You're going to need Venoms. You're going to need a Succubus, so the commander there. You might also want Reavers. They're the questionable unit in this. But from my perspective, I think this is all great in 40k. Because I'm not good at 40k. So I don't know enough to not run Reavers. But with that said, in Kill Team, what is this box? It's okay. So the Witches are fine, I guess. And if you're running Witches, then the Succubus is good in a commander's game. So that makes sense. The Reavers are a bit of a no. The Venom is a really awkward size and shaped model. So obviously, when I'm thinking of this, I'm thinking of, can I use this Venom as terrain for my board? Can I just pull it off the flight stand and put it down? And a Venom is actually relatively sleek, and it's not going to provide actual line of sight blocking. It will provide obscurity, obviously, but not line of sight blocking. It's not quite big enough, especially if you're running Primaris, who are, you know, pretty big models. So this pains me to say, but if you want to play Kill Team, I don't think this Drukhari box is a purchase, which is a real shame, because the models are great. I love Venoms, I love Reavers. Witches are good looking models. The Succubus is a great looking model, but the Reavers and the Venom aren't good for Kill Team. Like, there's nothing you can do with them. You can't plop them on the board as terrain. They're not really doing anything. And the witches are not how you win games as Drukhari. You want mandrakes, you want racks, even sometimes Cabalite warriors, but not witches. They're just not bringing anything to the table unless you only play arena, possibly. Oh gosh, I didn't think I was going to be saying this, but don't buy the Drukhari Start Collecting if you want to only play Kill Team. But again, if you're going into 40k, you actually get quite a lot from this box. It's just the Reavers that are questionable. Everything else will be used. You'll have 2 squads of 5-man witches there, the HQ and a transport for either for them or for something else. So that's actually a good box for 40k, but a really bad one for Kill Team. So, I don't know whether to recommend it or not. For Kill Team, it's a no. For 40k, this box isn't... So for 40k, this box isn't an auto purchase. Chances are you're going to want a Broodlord at some point. And Genestealers in 8th edition were a big thing, along with the Broodlord. So they made sense there. And having a Trigon or Morlock, I can't remember. It's a multi-kit, you can build it either way, was a valid way of getting them close to the enemy. So at one point, this box made a lot of sense. I've done a little bit of research on Tyranids in 9th. If you can see behind me, I'm building Tyranids. So I'm pretty clued up on them at the moment. Nobody is running any of these units. So odd as it might sound, for 40k, although this used to be a good box, it is now a bad box for 40k. For Kill Team, you can't use the Trigon. The Broodlord's a commander. He's not a good commander, but he's a commander. And actually, bizarrely, this does give you a full 200 point to Kill Team, so I'll give it that. You can run the Broodlord and a bunch of Tyranids, Genestealers. That can be your Kill Team. You're not going to win many games with it, but it's a full Kill Team, so I will give it that. However, this doesn't give you any of the models that really make a Tyranid Kill Team, which is Warriors using their Synapse range on the small bugs. Lictors are pretty interesting too, you don't get any of them. And of course you don't get anything from Elites, no Raveners, no Hive Guard, etc. If this box still had like on meta units in 40k, despite it giving you a very lame Kill Team, I would say purchase it. But because now no one is using any of these units in 40k, even though you get a full Kill Team, I can't recommend you buy it, because you're going to pick up the Tyranid Kill Team here, the Broodlord and the Genestealers, and you're going to play it, and you're going to say, that wasn't very effective. I have to buy an entirely new Kill Team of Tyranids to play anything else. Whereas, that would be fine if you could then say, okay, but at least I play a Kill Team, now I'm going to go to 40k, that would not be an issue, but you're not going to do that. Because from what I understand, you are going to just buy all new units for 40k as well. So oddly, this is a no buy. Gosh. Right, Genestealer Cults. This to me looks like a really good box. I think that looks great. You've got your core troops, you've got a cool vehicle. Why not? Well, apparently, in 40k, there's a reason. It's just very average, like savings-wise, except kind of similar to Guard. You're not actually getting many points in here. It's like 250 or something. So to make a full army, you'd have to buy lots of this box. And that's just not the most fun thing to do. None of this is monopose though, so you can kit it out however you want. For Kill Team though, I really like this box. So I think the Achilles Ridge Runner, I think that's an Achilles Ridge Runner, gives you plenty, like it's a good terrain piece. And you don't have to modify the way it looks, you don't have to like cut it in half, you can just plop it on the board and it still goes ahead and can be used in a big 40k game whilst acting as terrain. It's a perfect piece of Kill Team terrain. And then of course you just get a full box of Neophyte hybrids and Acolyte hybrids. You're going to get 2 mining weapons, so an Acolyte drill, a mining drill and a mining saw, and a cutter, and it's the drill we don't use, right, yeah. So that's great, and you can kit the rest out as either metamorphs or hybrids, and then you've got enough Neophyte hybrids to do whatever you want with. You can give them a stubber, mining, laser weapons, etc. That's a good list. Like, I mean, that's a standard Genestealer Cults list. And you do get the Icon Ward, who is, of course, a commander. I mean, I struggle with Genestealer Cults in general. You're going to need more of other... If you want to play a truly competitive Genestealer Cults list, you're going to need to purchase more Acolytes, probably. But to get into it, this is a really good purchase. I would recommend it. It's going to serve you well in Kill Team, or as well as any Genestealer Cults list can. All of these lists are going to be used in 40k as well. Good purchase for both Kill Team and 40k. To me, this and Thousand Suns sit alongside each other as what some of the best start collecting boxes for both formats. So, oh, and the Chaos Marines. Oh gosh, and the Orks. This is a great box. Yeah, this gives you boys, it gives you knobs, and it gives you what? So this is a bit of a tough one. I think that you need the boys, you need the knobs. That's enough to make multiple variations of kill teams. You get a Pain Boy, so you've got a commander. Good. Yes. Okay. That's all you need to know, really. If you're playing Orcs, you should buy this box. All of these units are going to be used in Big 40k as well. Or at least the boys are. Less so the knobs. Less so the Pain Boy. Whatever. It's all viable. It's all viable. The only questionable one is the Death Dread. Now, I would say it's a good model. I'm not sure if you're going to use it in 40k. It's questionable. These days, unfortunately, but also it's hard to use in Kill Team. Now, if you're saying I'm Kill Team only, or I'm going up to 40k but I know I don't want a Death Dread, then build it, snap it in half, put it on the ground. It's perfect terrain. It's very orky terrain as well, but that's not how it's meant to be used, so that's a bit of a wasted model. But because everything else is so needed and it is a cool looking model anyway, I'd say the Orc Start Collecting box is another really good purchase. Which leads us to the very highly questionable Tau Empire Start Collecting. Okay, first things first, if you ever want to buy Crisis Suits in Kill Team or in 40k, buy this box. Do not buy a Crisis Suit box on its own, buy the Start Collecting box. It costs like £5 more and you get everything else. Yeah. Now, one of the advantages this box gives you is the number of drones. That's really good. It also gives you Fire Warriors, which are good. That's a statement I'm going to have to qualify, aren't I? Okay, so in Big 40k, chances are you're going to use the Fire Warriors. You're probably going to use the Crisis Suits, even if they're not on meta at this point. You can normally find a reason to put one squad of 3 into your list, and you are going to need all of the drones you can get your hands on. That's still true. I don't believe Ethereals are really on meta at the moment, but Ethereal is still good. It's a cool looking model, and it can be used in both Kill Team and 40k. All in all, I suppose, sorry, I'll just cut to the end of, you should buy this box. If you're into Tau, and you want to play Kill Team, and then progressing into 40k, this is a good box. Now, are you going to equip your Fire Warriors with pulse rifles or pulse carbines? That's kind of up to you. The general idea is you should give them pulse rifles, which are just kind of better all round, really. But you can also run them as breachers, or if you want, you can run them with the pulse carbines, and then you can say they are either Fire Warriors with pulse carbines, which is what they are, or because they look so similar, you can just say they're Pathfinders if you really want to run extra Pathfinders. The only thing is, this is then going to be a Tau Empire box without any Pathfinders, which means you're not going to get your rail rifles. I don't think that's the end of the world. I think this is still a good box. You get enough drones, and you can chuck in a Crisis Suit, and you've got a commander. I actually really like this. And because you aren't using some of the most OP rail rifles on the Tau side, people aren't going to hate playing against you as much, you know? I mean, you're still running Tau. People hate Tau for some reason, but, like, I think this is a really good box. You're going to use all of these in 40k. You can use all of these in Kill Team. Good box. Good purchase. Definitely do it. Now, I've already said my thoughts on Combat Patrol for both Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and Death Watch. I don't like them. If you're dedicated to going up to 40k like quite fast, and you just want to stop on the way and play a few games with the 4 models you built, yes, these are good. You should buy them. They're a great way to ramp up into 40k. So yes, they're good from that perspective. If you're focusing more and staying a bit longer around Kill Team, these aren't great. I'm going to be honest. But if Kill Team's just a minor notch on the way up, these are two great boxes. You're not getting as much of a savings as you are with all of the start collecting, but they're there. And that's it. There you go. Gosh, this has been really rambly. I hope I've cut this down for you a whole bunch, guys. Oh. If you made it to the end, what do you think? Did I call out any of these start collectings wrong? Do you think one of them actually has a hidden potential? Did I say something wrong? Maybe you don't like the Chaos Space Marines start collecting because it doesn't have any cultists and that's a big deal for you. I don't know. I don't know. You let me know. However, if you have made it to the end, of course, I have to say a triple hello to you, sir. A good day, sir. Yes. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you continue to have a good day. Join me and Alex this Sunday for a live, full faction focus about AdMech, where we're going to go over everything from one of the best AdMech players around. Thank you very much, everybody. This is Big Glass Half Dead. Goodbye.